Strong and genuine friendships are rare, and I think a lot of people will agree with me on this. It's not impossible, but it's extremely difficult to find real connection between people. We can have hundreds of contacts, followers, or even people we grew up with, but when it comes to true support, the circle often becomes very small. Have you ever noticed that when you post something good online, maybe a success story, like, graduating, getting a promotion, buying a house, or even achieving something meaningful, often it's the strangers or distant friends online who engages with it. They'll like your post, leave a nice comment, or even share it to show full support. But when you look at your close friends, sometimes even your own family, and they've just watched it silently without liking or saying a single word. And in those moments, can't help but really wonder how much they really support you deep down. I have a friend who recently started a modeling page on Instagram. Every time she posts something exciting, like landing an opportunity or sharing her progress, the only people who really interact with her are complete strangers or people she barely knows. Meanwhile, her own family and friends who follow her never really show interest. And she told me that it really hurts because those are the exact people you expect to be the biggest cheerleaders. Crazy when you think about it, and honestly, it's upsetting because you would naturally assume that the ones closest to you would be the ones clapping the loudest for your wins. And she's not the only one. I've seen other influencers on social platforms talk about the same thing, about how support often comes from unexpected places. At the end of the day, I think it really comes down to one thing: genuinely wishing well for someone. If someone is truly happy for you, their actions will show it. Now thinking back, I had a really close friend at university. We got along so well. We studied together, shared notes, covered for each other, doing the usual university student antics. We kept in touch even after university, often meeting up, talking about life, our partners, the typical girl chats. Even during these years of our friendship, I felt like I was the only one holding the friendship together. For example, I'll be the first one to reach out if I haven't heard from her in a while, replying to all her messages and not just replying one or two answers, and truly getting involved in what's happening in her life, like a good friend. Then after a while it hit me. I realized I was the only one constantly supporting her, but the energy wasn't being returned. There was always this sense of jealousy in the air that I kept ignoring about her, especially when we spoke about our partners, our careers, which by the way was very similar. So every time I would say I got an offer or a great opportunity that I'm thinking of doing, she would at first congratulate me, but you can see it on her face that it's not very genuine. At first I brushed it off, telling myself it was all just in my head. But as time went on, the little signs became more obvious and I couldn't ignore them anymore. Eventually it started to drain me. I remember speaking to her about this actually, and she would apologize that I felt this way and that she will show more support. But as the years went on, nothing really changed. After multiple tries, I realized that no matter how much history we had, I needed to create the distance. It hurts at first because she had been such a good friend, but in the end, I knew it was the right choice. You have to surround yourself with people who are genuinely happy for you, not people who say the right things but secretly don't mean them or want you to fail so that they can feel great about themselves. That's not friendship, and that kind of energy can hold you back even without you realizing it. We still try to keep in touch, but I know where I stand. It's unfortunate, but you got to see it for what it is. This also reminds me, back in school, I had a really good group of friends. We were a big group, always hanging out, making memories and keeping in touch even during the weekends. But once college started, life took us in different directions. We really did try to go to one college together, but it wasn't always possible because different people chose different subjects. Eventually people moved away, got busy with their studies, jobs. Some of my friends got married and moved to a different country, and others with other new responsibilities. And this is completely normal, and life happens. Eventually we all lost touch. I still have a few on Instagram and we like each other's posts or leave that occasional comment, but it's not the same. Since then, I've had many friends and close colleagues come and go, and honestly, it doesn't upset me anymore. I've learned to see it for what it is. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a short season, and that's okay. You can take the good memories, learn the lessons, and move forward without holding grudges. Something to also think about is that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. As you grow, you may outgrow some of the people you once knew, not because they were bad, but because they're no longer aligned with the person you're becoming. Sometimes their values won't match yours, and the bond that once felt unbreakable quietly fades. And that's okay too, because growth often means letting go. creating space for the right people who are meant to walk alongside you in this new chapter. I'm really grateful for having my best friend, who I now call my partner.
Nice try.
Wait.
Look, Monica. This is not gonna work.
But this will work.
You are so great. I love you.
We met when we were teenagers, and honestly, he's been there through thick and thin. We also have mutual friends that we genuinely love spending time with. Even though they live miles away, sometimes 2 to 3 hour drive, whenever we meet up, it's always a good time. We laugh, we catch up, and it feels like no time has passed. Of course, the distance makes it hard because not everyone drives or has the time to travel, but when we do manage to meet, it reminds me what real connection looks like. At the end of the day, friendship don't need huge numbers, right? What matters most is having those few people who are happy for your success, who celebrates it with you, and who stand by you when life gets hard. And if you don't have that right now, don't worry. It's better to have 1 or 2 genuine people than a crowd full of silent watchers. Anyways, I hope I didn't put you to sleep with my little sentimental journey. Thank you for sticking around, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye!